How are you? We are here and we are going live. And unfortunately, my guest could not make it, so you're stuck with me, which is, I guess it's okay. So, this month we're doing a thing called October Madness in our coaching business. And basically, what it is that we're pushing ourselves as hard as we can to help as many people as we can this month. Joe and I have set a goal of helping 12 people this month and bringing on some more coaches because, in all honesty, this has changed our lives. And I know it can change other people's lives. And I know it can really, really help a lot of people get over some humps that maybe they're having right now. Because let's face it, there's a lot going on out there, COVID and all that. There's a lot of things that are happening that we can't control. And income is one of the things that we're not necessarily always in control of. Even in this business, I mean, we don't always control how much we can make because sometimes people run into their own walls, right? But today, we've been challenged to talk about, and I hate the word, but I'm going to use it, our vulnerabilities. That's a pretty deep topic. And it's probably something most people don't really like to talk about. I know I probably never really talked about my vulnerabilities to anybody. Maybe Joan, but even then it was maybe. um, but one of the things, and I titled this week, or I actually had that thing down the bottom there that says weakness or growth point for a reason. Because we teach people to what we call stay above the line. And when we talk about being above the line or being positive, even, we tend to get into this feeling that we have to be positive 24/7. We have to be above the line 24/7. There's that perfection thing in there that we all, we want to be perfect. We want to be the best. And there's nothing wrong with being the best, by the way, as long as you do it not at the expense of other people, and so on and so forth. But often, if you try to be that positive person all the time or try to stay above the quote unquote line all the time, you can ignore things that might come back later to drag you down below or to just kill your positivity. And like I'll start with this, and you guys who listen to me regularly know that I quit alcohol in July of 2017. Holy cow! Haven't had a drop since, but the thing is, that was a weak point for me. That is one of my vulnerabilities. And if I were to continue to do that, eventually it would have probably killed me within the next few years because, one, I was out of control, and two, I'm a diabetic on top of that. The out of control was bad enough. The diabetes, do you want me to give you a list? Neuropathy. There's a whole list of things that diabetes causes, including heart conditions. And by the way, right, heart attack in 2009, very possibly because I was out of control in diabetes and I clogged up my artery. So that was a weakness for me. My weakness now, and it's funny because it's not funny, but it is peanuts. And we were tasked with giving up something this month, and I haven't done it yet. So guess what? I'm announcing it right here, right now. So you guys can all hold me accountable for this, and I'll tell Joan to post if I eat any, okay? If she sees me eating any, she'll post. Or if she notices that the jar is going down, she'll let you know. So I'm not going to have any more peanuts for the month of October, period. I like to grab a handful of peanuts once in a while. And the thing is, I eat a very controlled diet. So there's room in my day to do that. But if I eliminate that, there might be room in my day to take a couple pounds off too and make myself a little bit more lighter. Because scary thought here, here you ready? I'm thinking about starting to run at 62. I don't know. We'll see. Because I go out and I walk, and I do like 4 miles when I do my walk, sometimes 5, depending on how many steps I want to get that day. And it doesn't feel good. I have sciatica, so my leg is constantly cramping up. I have bursitis in my hip, so my hip is always saying, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." But guess what? I get through it. It doesn't bother me that much during the day. Like it doesn't, it's not annoying. It's just when I'm out walking, a little bit of tension in my leg, a little bit of throbbing in the hip. I can live through that. So when we have these vulnerabilities, when we have these things that scare us, when we have these things that we don't think we are in control of, let's put it that way. That is our growth point. That is the thing that when you overcome it, you will have grown to a new level in your life. And again, it's not perfection. Perfection is not the result that you're looking for. You're looking to be better today than you were yesterday. And today, I think you all know that I kayak Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I do, at least now, I'm up to 4 miles. And the other day I went out and I ended last month at just a little above 17 minutes a mile, which is pretty decent for a guy 62 years old who never rode in his life. I think I'm building up here. I have a goal of doing these 4 miles at 15 minutes each. So 1 hour in the kayak, 4 miles. When I get to that point, I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to push myself another mile. And then when I get that all to a certain level, I'll go to 6. And eventually I'll row the entire lake in a day. Not going to happen. It's like a 70-mile shoreline. Don't worry, I won't. But today, for the first time, I did a sub 16-minute mile out there. Now, it was with the wind at my back on a pretty calm day out there. But I've been building up to this. It's been and the other day I had a horrible day. I went out on Monday. It was just horrible. I hated it. For some reason, me, the paddle, and the water just didn't agree on Monday. And I don't think I had a time under 16 and a half to 17 minutes. It was horrible. And my last mile today was 18 minutes. But that was because the way I went out with the wind at my back meant that I came back with the wind facing me. So for my last mile, I was fighting the wind. That doesn't mean I rode less. That doesn't mean I decreased. Matter of fact, when I'm into the wind, I actually paddle harder than when I have the wind at my back. And I do that because I know that the wind is going to push against me and slow me down. And that's sort of like what our vulnerabilities do. If we have something that we are afraid of, if we have something that we don't want to face, if we have something we're scared of, I have a couple of them. One of them is talking to people online, believe it or not. I mean, I'd rather come see you face to face. Matter of fact, if you want to have coffee, let me know. I'm in Irmo. We'll have coffee. Can't come back up to New Jersey for a while, have coffee with you guys, or Pennsylvania, but what are you going to do? You can come down here, though. It's beautiful. It's what, October 6th. I'm not wearing sleeves. That's how warm it is. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. Don't be afraid of what scares you or what holds you. Those things are the things you need to grab onto and go. And if you have a day where you feel lousy, where something's not right, you don't feel good, you just don't, you're not grooving. Live in that moment. Live in it. Because if you deny it, it's still going to be there. But if you embrace it and say, all right, like I had one 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. I woke up and I just wasn't feeling it that day. I wasn't in a mood. I wasn't myself. Joan noticed it. She's like, you okay? I'm fine. I don't know what it is. But I had to live in that for that period of time. I continued to talk to people as much as I could. I did what I had to do to grow my business as much as I could. Everything that we do, I continued to do. I just wasn't feeling right. I was loud. I was in a bad mood. Couldn't tell you why. But I didn't take it out on anybody else. And I just let myself feel it. I just let it be part of me that day. Like, all right, why am I feeling this way? I don't know. But guess what? I am so. Deal with it. And I did. And the next day I was back to my usual, okay, let's get this done. And yes, I am a happy person. For the most part. I think we all are. But we just don't like to acknowledge that sometimes. So do yourself a favor. Find those things that scare you. Find those things that stop you from being worse. Find those things that stop you from growing. Find those things that hold you down and fight against them. Create your freedom by facing the things that make you just weak. And that's where you'll grow. All right, that's what I got. Guys, I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.